Yo, 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 yo. Dr. Stephanie coming at you with a live stream. Today, we're going to jam about how to say goodbye forever to imposter syndrome and then begin stepping into your mastery and then also your magic. So, before we get into that, let me formally introduce myself. My name is Dr. Stephanie Pierre. I am a doctor of Oriental medicine and acupuncture, a multidisciplinary artist. I'm also the creator of the Star Disco Apprenticeship, and some of my soulmate clients include the entire Wayne Dyer family, the CEO of the American Cancer Treatment Centers of America. And if you haven't seen, I just released my music video Python, aka Dragon Ride, so be sure to check that out and listen to it on all of your major music streaming platforms. It has been such an honor, such a journey, and I'll talk more about that process another day. But spoiler alert: so many things are popping out of the half shell in regards to that. So if you've been enjoying that, stay tuned. I believe on Facebook, I've got a lot of people lately that have been telling me, oh, I'm not seeing your stuff, and who knows whatever the reason for that is. And so if you want to be the first to know and not miss any of the things and the happenings, I highly suggest joining either my free Telegram and or my Goddess Whispers email. So if that's something, I will drop a link to joining that. It's totally free. And there's a bunch of free resources that you can get as well. So I'll drop that in the comments. So, let me pull back for a second because I've got all of the energy right now, and I want to be mindful with my time because I got a lot of stuff that I've got to go and do. Super stoked about that tonight, date night, and doing things with the kiddos. Lots of fun plans. So let's see. How do I want to break into this? Okay, let's just dive right in, right? Let's dive right into imposter syndrome. So, imposter syndrome, when you get to this point in the love stream, let me know in the comments with one of the masks emojis if imposter syndrome is something that either you're currently experiencing and or that you've experienced in the past. Because it is something that I have been noticing in the collective popping up just between, my private spaces, other spaces that, I'm in, friends and family, and there is a reason to this. There is absolutely a 110% reason about this. It is astrological, but it's also something that just comes up for people whenever they are desiring more, whenever you're wanting to break free from, a current, it could be an income level, it could be a relationship experience that you're having, it could be just new life experiences. Whenever we're in growth territory and you're feeling unsure of yourself and or you're doubting yourself, you're hesitating, you're playing smaller, any of these sort of things, a lot of times what's at the root of this is or can be imposter syndrome. And a big part, and so a lot of this is astrologically, and I'm going to be going even deeper into this in my masterclass, Hot and Dramatic, the Dragon Eclipse Mythos. So fucking stoked about this, guys. Guys, you want to be fucking in on this. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. By the way, it's going to be on Monday. There'll be replays available, but I'm going live on Monday inside of my membership, Pandora's Box. It is the fucking place to be if you love me, if you want to be in these kind of conversations. Magic, mythos, mystery, love and relationships, just fucking living your life to the fucking maximum edge, hot, fly, and sexy. You want this. So we're going to be delving into the eclipses that are coming up, which is a huge big deal. It's a rare celestial phenomena, by the way, because normally eclipses only stay in a pair of signs for a year and a half. This one is going to be for 3 years. So it's significant. And especially if you have any concerns about the things that are happening in the world, on a worldly stage level, the smoke and mirrors and not knowing what's real, what's who to trust, AI, all of this kind of stuff. This is the conversation of the time. So we're going to be going into that for sure we'll be delving into that. And then it'll make more sense why like imposter syndrome is showing up. But right now I have a very special, like an insane fucking deal for $55. I know. It's a 1-week access pass to get a taste of the Pandora's Box experience, which includes my signature program, the Mermaid Cleanse, emotional intelligence, transcendence, like really alchemizing your love and your relationships. But then on top of that, you're going to get access to this bonus masterclass that I just shared with you. And then also I am doing, like, I'm so fucking stoked about this. It's a bonus challenge called She's Got It in Spades, which is part of the set list for Pandora's Box in February. So, I mean, it's a fucking no-brainer for the value. So, and this is the pre-sale pricing. If you want to get in on that, let me know in the comments section. I want in. I'll send you the info, or if you want to chat about it, send me a private message. So let's come back to imposter syndrome, right? Which, by the way, the title of the challenge is Seize the Stage. So imposter syndrome is like perfectly aligned for this. So you're welcome. You're going to get all of the goods when it comes to that. I'm just teasing the fuck out of this concept, aren't I? Stay with me. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise it'll be worth it. So seize the stage, the dark carnal destiny. All right. So she's got it in spades. I know it's super long, but there's a reason for the, there's a method behind the madness. So that's the challenge. So, God, there's so much. There's so fucking much. All right. So, imposter syndrome. Why does imposter syndrome show up? Well, essentially, imposter syndrome shows up because on some level, you don't actually believe it. You don't actually believe, and you're not embodying what it is that you say that you want and or who it is that you say that you are, especially behind the scenes. You know, it's like there's a night and a day difference between, like, you know, having like incredible desires, right? Having like big, huge desires. And there's a night and a day difference between who you're operating at, like on a base level when life happens, you know? And so especially if you've had like, so let me use an example. And, you know, like let's say that you want to start being treated like a queen, right? Like, or you want to call in your king. And I'm just using this as an example. We'll use more. But, you know, if you want to start living your life like a queen or feeling like a queen, but meanwhile, behind the scenes, you're not acting like one, or you've had experiences in your life where you were really mistreated and or you allowed yourself to be mistreated, and or you hesitate on taking care of yourself, you hesitate on giving yourself the kind of experiences that a queen wouldn't even think twice about doing, you're not an energetic match, right? And so of course you're going to feel like an imposter because you're not actually living that life. You're not embodying it on some level, either within your body, within your emotional field, within your mind. You're not operating on a base level, like just like as easy as a fucking hair toss, like you expect it like a queen. So of course you're going to waver and wobble because it's not the full truth of who you are yet. Now, I know this might come like that might be a little bit hard to hear. And because on the one hand, you are your deepest burning desires. Okay, I want you to know that 110%, that you are your deepest burning desires. But if you're not acting and living and moving like it, then on some level, you are declaring that you're not worthy of it. So you're not in integrity with yourself. Your words aren't matching your emotions. Your words aren't matching your actions, your behaviors, your life. Like the biggest truth of that we can experience is the life that you're actually living. And so if you're not living that life, then of course you're going to be experiencing imposter syndrome, right? And so this requires that you change. It requires that you change. Like, you actually have to change your thoughts. You've got to change your feelings. You've got to change your relationships. You've got to change your lifestyle. You've got to change, like, so many different things actually have to change. And when that happens, it's going to only feel like effortless. It's only going to feel natural that of course you get to have these experiences. And this is why, like, I am so fucking passionate about the work that I do with archetypal activations, which is energy work. Think acupuncture in space. So my work has transcended and evolved so much over the years. I've been doing hands-on healing since I was 9 years old, so for over 30 years. I've been doing acupuncture for over 17 years. And since then, you know, now, like, instead of having to see people in person and actually put my hands on you, I do a lot more energetic work. And this includes acupuncture in space. Or at least that's one way that I like to call it and talk about it. And so with these archetypal activations, as quickly as that, if you want to embody an archetype, so for example, what does that mean? Like, you want to feel like a queen, or you want to feel like a star, or you want to feel like an athlete, or you want to live the life of an entrepreneur, or you want to live the life of a wife or a lover or a magician or a fairy or a dragon or whatever. Like, there's so many different archetypes. A king, or, you know, like a maiden, a princess, like anything that we see in movies, right? These are all archetypes. Our lives are made up of stories, and stories are essentially characters, which are archetypes. It's like playing a role. And so you could see how, like, being an imposter is like, you're not owning your role. On some level, you're not owning it. And in order to own something, we have to master it. You have to have ownership of it, which means that involves investment. There is an investment of your fucking energy into mastering something so that you can wield it. Like a magician wields all of the elements, you can wield all of the archetypes. So with archetypal activations, what we're doing is we're working on your energy body and going in and clearing out any sort of stories, belief patterns, energetic memories within your body where you're not a match to that archetype. You know, and so I'll give you an example of when we watch actors on stage or in a movie. It's like, when you believe that that actor is that, it's like they're not an actor at that point. They have become. They have assumed the role. There's no question in your mind that that's a fucking badass. That's a fucking gangster. That's a king. That's a child. That's that's a princess. That's, a big... All right, it says that I'm live, but... Okay, it looks like it's working. All right, we'll go back. Okay, so where was I? I'm just going to come back to, you can't be full of yourself if you're fully yourself. And so if some level we acknowledge that you are your deepest burning desires, and you also acknowledge that you're not your thoughts and your feelings. Like, this is a game changer. This is really, really a fucking game changer. When you can acknowledge, like, all of the thoughts that you're thinking in your head, that's not who you are. It's not the full truth of who you are. Your thoughts that you're thinking is not who you are. Even the feelings that you're having are a result of the thoughts that you're thinking. They're a reaction to either your environment, they're a reaction to people, to circumstances, to your mind. It's a reaction. That's not actually who you are either. Now, like, the reactions that we're taking, the habits that we have, those create your character. right? And so coming back to the role, if you want to play a certain kind of character, then that means you have to have a level of mastery over your reactions and or learn to be non-reactive. You know, and instead you choose how you respond to a situation, you choose how you respond to life, you choose how you respond to people, and from there you begin separating yourself from the drama, and you begin playing out your own drama, your own mythos. Like you begin stepping into, with your awareness, with your sovereignty, with your power to choose, with your pleasure, with your desire, like, nah, B, this is who I'm choosing to be. Like, yeah, I may have been born into this family, I may have been born into this body, I may have been born into this environment, but that's not who I am. That's not who I is. That's not who I'm choosing to be. I'm not going to allow my life experiences to motherfucking define me. They may have imprinted me. They may have influenced me, but I get to define myself. I get to define my future. I get to choose where I'm going, who I want to be, how I want to roll, all of these things. Like that's the beauty when you step into the role of either the designer, the CEO, the executive, the motherfucking creator of your reality, is you begin separating yourself from the emotional bondage, right, of the mind and of the emotions. You liberate yourself from that so that you can break free into your magic and into your mastery, right? And so imposter syndrome has a ton to do with your throat chakra. Like a lot. A huge amount to do with your throat chakra, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the magician of all. And we're going to be going a lot more into like the astrological implications, by the way, of Mercury, the eclipses, all of the things. So that's a big part of imposter syndrome is, you know, if you know anything about Mercury, start working with Mercury. If you know anything about your throat chakra, begin working on your throat chakra, your self-expression, right? To have mastery and greater and greater and greater levels of self-expression and mastery of your voice, your communication, your ability to listen, your artistry, your refinement, your skills, this is all Mercury and has everything to do with, if you want to break free from imposter syndrome. That's one avenue, one way that you can play with it. So, but again, let's come back to the essence of it. Is if imposter syndrome is something that's coming up for you, you don't yet have the identity of that thing, that person, that lifestyle. Your self-concept, who you think that you are, is not in alignment with that next level, with that amount of money, with that job, with that relationship, with that body, with that lifestyle, with that house, with that skill, whatever. And so these are things that legit you can experience. I have people within like less than fucking 24 hours telling me how they'll get an archetype activation, and out of the blue, people will literally call them by name the archetype that they got. And they've never been called that before. So meaning, let's say, for example, we'll stick with the queen archetype. You want to feel like a queen, and then people will start calling you a queen. People will begin treating you like a queen. If you're having relationships where you're like, like these aren't the kind of men that I want in my life. Like I want a higher caliber men. I want men that treat me really well. I want to be treated like a queen. I want to receive like a queen. I want to have the experiences like a queen. But people aren't recognizing you as such. People aren't seeing you as such. People aren't treating you as such. Your man isn't treating you as such. It's because you don't have the identity of one. With an archetype activation, that can happen this fast. This motherfucking fast. Okay? So, and why that is just because we're going in and we're going into your astral field, into your energetic body. We work on the mind level as well. I'm not going to go into all of the details, but I teach you this inside of my apprenticeship, by the way. But we go in and we clear all of those things. It's like energetic baggage that's literally blocking people from feeling your essence and feeling the truth of who you are and seeing the truth of who you are. So it brings out your true colors. It brings out your true beauty. It's always there. There's just junk in the way. And so most people only give themselves permission to embody maybe one or two archetypes at best. On a base level, we all have 4 archetypes. Every single person on this planet on a base level has 4 basic archetypes that we operate with. But you can have unlimited amount of archetypes that you can play with. For real, for real, for real. So this is where, if you love the fantasy realm, if you love the magical realm, if you love fairy tales and romance, and like this can be your fucking real life. It is the life that I live. It is like, this is how I roll. So, and again, like, let me just pull back and I'll talk more about how to do that if you want to work with me. But coming back to imposter syndrome, let's say motherfucking focus, Stephanie, right? So with imposter syndrome, you need to look at, when you're feeling imposter syndrome, right in that moment, what did I think? What was that thought? What am I feeling, right? And you have to begin putting your finger on it, right? Like catching yourself in the moment as soon as you're feeling wobbly, as soon as you're feeling shaky, as soon as you're like, ooh, I'm feeling fake. I'm feeling fake. If you feel like you're living a fake life, you have, like, it's because you're not prioritizing what's really motherfucking important to you. And so if you were to die in the next hour, if you were to die tonight, your priorities become really fucking apparent to you. What really matters to you. And you'll begin changing and living your life in such a way that that becomes true for you. So if you want to get out of imposter syndrome, the number one thing that you can do, other than, let's wrap it up, I'm giving you like now a very practical step-by-step. Number one, as soon as you feel that hesitation, as soon as you feel that awareness of, I'm wobbling, I'm hesitating, I'm doubting, you're not feeling something, or you're not having awareness of what you're feeling. You're not having awareness of the thoughts that's actually leading to that experience. So right away, put your finger on it. What was that thought? What was I thinking? What was I feeling? And then from there, you separate and you go, but I'm not my thoughts or my feelings. So just because I'm thinking this doesn't mean it's motherfucking true. I can fucking throw that bitch in the garbage. Just because I'm feeling this doesn't mean it's the complete truth of who I am. I'm actually not accessing the full truth of who I am in this moment. The veil has come down on some level. And so from there, you can begin separating, right? You can begin bringing awareness to, okay, this isn't the full truth, and then you need to clean that up, right? You need to clean those things up. And again, there's so many ways, to clean these things up. For sure, in Pandora's box, I have the mermaid cleanse that will help you to resolve these emotional patterns. You can clean this up with one-to-one energy work with me, starting delving into your thought patterns and your beliefs, and going in there and cleaning that shit up. I have programs on my website specifically for this, but you need to clean that up. Right? You need to clean up the baggage, the emotional baggage, the belief systems that are clouding up your field, clouding up your truth. So that's number one, right? The second thing that you can do is, give me a moment because it was coming in and now I got to grab for it again. Shoot. I trust it's going to come back. What was it I was saying is you put your finger on it, right? And the second thing that you can do if you're experiencing imposter syndrome is oh man, bummer. I hate when this fucking shit happens. What was this? Oh no. Okay. We are going back into recognizing I'm not my thoughts or my feelings. I'm not this, I'm not that. Oh yeah, the second thing, right, you can do is I want you to imagine a mask, right? That you're wearing a mask. And I want you to, as you do that, like create a little bit of separation, create a little bit of distance and pull the mask and then begin like, that's just a mask. Like I can choose to wear that like an actor or an actress, and I can choose to wear this mask if I want to, or I can create a little bit of separation from the mask and be like, I don't really want to play that role anymore, right? And you can toss the mask, right? So, and that'll give you something a little bit more tangible, a little bit more for you to play around with, right? Is be like, oh, that's just a mask, right? So, gosh, I know there was another thing. That one I just kind of like pulled out of my bag of tricks. That one I just pulled out of my bag of tricks, but there was another one. It's on the tip of my tongue. All right. Well, if it's meant to come back, it's meant to come back. So, imposter syndrome, right? It's, oh yeah, here it is, right? And so, an identity is an ego. Your identity is a part of your ego. It's a really beautiful way that I've heard it said is like the ego, there's nothing like the ego isn't the enemy, but we have to understand that you're not your ego. The ego is the instrument. It's the instrument through which the soul plays its song, right? And in the time of the kings and the queens and the courts, right? The king always needed to have the court jester. Okay? There was always a court jester with the king, and this was like accepted. And the court jester's role was to make fun of the king. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me now. Yes! I love it. Thank you, Spirit. We're going to put that on the side tangent. Hold that on the back burner. The other second thing that you can do, now it's technically the third thing that you can do for imposter syndrome, is, holy shit, is it going away again? Damn it. This is hilarious. This is a fucking hilarious thing. This is fucking hilarious. You are fucking with me. Oh yeah, that was it. Okay, so you are going to tell yourself, and you can journal on this, if I was to die in 1 week, or I was to die tonight, what would I be so upset? What would I want to do? What would I want to do? What would I need to experience in my life? What's so fucking valuable and prioritized and important to me that if I was to die tonight, or I was to die tomorrow, or I was to die in 1 week, what's actually fucking important to me? Write those things down. And then live your life as if you were going to die tomorrow. That will align you to your fucking truth like nobody's fucking business. This is the power of fire. If there is a fire going on in your house, a mother will automatically look at her child. The most valuable thing that she possesses when the smoke detector goes off, when a fire is, because you get really fucking clear on what's motherfucking matters. What motherfucking matters to me? What do I value? And a role that you're playing is all about your values. And so if you want to shapeshift, which is what imposter syndrome is showing you, you're not shapeshifting. You're not changing your borders and your boundaries. You haven't changed your values yet, or you're not living in alignment with your values. This exercise will motherfucking be like a fucking game changer for you. So those three things. When you get to this point in the love stream, I want you to let me know which one of those you fucking felt. And I'm giving you the opportunity right now, if you're serious about this, if you're serious about like making change in your life, I guarantee you that if you actually take action on one of those three things and you do it today, you will be living a whole other fucking different life. If you do that and you do it consistently. So for accountability, if that's something that you want, if that's something that you love, if that's something that you need, let me know in the comments which one of those you are doing, 1, 2, or 3. Okay? All right. So I'm going to wrap it up with this. I'm going to save that conversation, which I'm choosing to remember what that was even about. But if you're loving this conversation, if you love these kinds of conversations, if you want to take this deeper, I highly fucking recommend getting the ticket for $55, joining me for, you're getting a taste, right, of 1 week inside of Pandora's box with me and a fucking fabulous community of other sirens, mermaids, and motherfucking dragons that get it and that are going places, okay? It is the fucking tits. So you'll get 1 week to deep dive in and get access to everything that's inside of Pandora's box. I'll put the link so that you can read more about the description in there. And then on top of that, you're going to get the Masterclass, Haute and Dramatic, the Eclipse Mythos, which like March is going to be a motherfucking big deal. You want info on this. I'm telling you like I'm telling you. And then you're also going to get access to the pre-sale, like you're in, right? But this is pre-sale pricing for my challenge. Seize the Stage, the Dark Carnival of Destiny. She's got it in Spades bonus challenge. So I do bonus challenges just because I motherfucking feel like it inside it, and I like having fun. So there's gonna be prizes. There will be a giveaway, like fucking chef kiss prizes in this challenge for February. So you're gonna get access to that. It's like a fucking no-brainer. It's a fucking no-brainer. So, and this is pre-sale pricing. The price on this will be going up. The price on this will be going up on Monday. Okay? So, if you want that, comment. Let me know in the comments. I can give you the link. And then if you want to work with me one-to-one, I have something so fucking juicy and delicious. Like, I'm fucking coming out of my skin for this offer right now. My Fierce Feminine Fantasy, specifically for the Venus star, that's like a whole other thing, and one-to-one, doing these archetypal activations, energetic activations. I do brand and image consulting. I do astrological embodiment and readings. You get to work with my astro remediation and magic kit. I do oracle and psychic channeling. It's fucking next fucking level. I have before and after photos of what this literally will motherfucking transform your life. And it's glorious. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you've got questions about it, I have space right now for 2 people right now. I have space for 2 more people. And so if you've got questions about that, you want to chat, send me a private message. But that's my Fierce Feminine Fantasy one-to-one mentorship. I love you. Let me know how you loved this, what ahas, insights, takeaways for the accountability, if you want to get in on like really starting to move the needle forward when it comes to breaking through, like shifting your identity, taking action on these 3 steps to like say goodbye to fucking imposter syndrome for good and seize the motherfucking stage. Drop it in the comments. I love you. Mwah.